Hello, my name is Graham Lehman, and here's a short webinar on how to track your recovery through a recovery stat sheet that I would have sent you if you are training with me online. So why is recovery important? We'll just kind of go over this quickly. If you want your performance, which is over here, to go up over time here, performance over here, we need to train. You'll get training programs that I'll send you, but you need to really enhance your recovery, because what happens when you train, your body, your fitness level actually goes down, and then if it has the proper recovery, it'll come up and you have better fitness, then you train it again, and then it follows this trend as you go along. If you don't give it enough time to recover, or if you don't recover well enough in terms of the type of recovery you do, which we'll talk about, this is what happens. Your performance will go down, and you get what we call sort of this overtraining, what I like to call under recovery syndrome. So in order to make sure that we're recovering well enough, it's nice to be able to kind of have a bit of a score sheet on it. When we look at the training side of things, we always track how our training is going in terms of the days that we're working out, the amount that we're working out, the weights that we're doing, the reps and the sets and everything like that. But tracking recovery is a bit different. So this is a very simple way to kind of look at recovery. Again, you'll get this sent to you in an Excel spreadsheet, but this is just what you'll see for each week. So what I would suggest is when you get this, you print out this sheet for each week, and then you can track how you did here. So this is just an example. I filled out these scores completely sort of random, but again, you'll see that on each day you have a potential of getting up to 20 points, as you can see down here. And how you get those 20 points: if you have a good breakfast, you get 2 points. If you have a good lunch, you get 2 points. Dinner, snack, good water, so you have 10 total points that you can get through nutrition, and then you can also get 10 total points through rest. We'll go through each one of these in detail. But overall, you can see how you do every day based out of 20. If you're a stats guy, if you like to be able to sort of see numbers, then this will work great for you. See, on this particular one, I got 14 for the first 3 days, and I went up to 16, down to 15, back up to 16. So I got a weekly total of 105, which gives me a 0.075 out of a total of 140 that I could have gotten. My daily average was 15, and my untapped recovery was 35. So I left 35 recovery points on the table. So what you'll get at the end of it is you'll get sort of these weekly averages. So again, we just saw these numbers here about my weekly total, my daily average, untapped recovery. But this pie chart shows kind of what your untapped recovery was. So out of a total of 140 that you could potentially get every week, 35 didn't sound like much, but when you look at it in this scheme, that's this much amount of recovery that you're missing out on in order to increase your performance. You'll also get kind of a printout to see how your results went on a daily basis, so that you can sort of troubleshoot to see, okay, maybe for example here, my Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at the beginning of the week, I don't do very well with my recovery. I only got 14. And then I go from there. So if this happens week over week, then you know, okay, let's make sure that we really enhance our recovery on these Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So how do you score these points? I mean, what equals 2 points for a good breakfast per se, and everything like that? So we're going to look at nutrition. Basically, I'm going to award you 1 point if you have good quality, 1 point if you have good quantity of food. So quality is a bit more subjective in that matter. Every single meal I want to have some protein, some carbs, and some fats. I'm going to leave it sort of up to you. We know that if this meal here, this fast food meal, has all those proteins, carbs, and fats, but everyone in the world knows that's not a good quality nutrition food, whereas this meal would be. Ideally, we want our food to come from natural sources, lean meats, some vegetables, everything like that. The less sort of processed foods, the better. We can go into more detail about this till the cows come home, but everyone knows kind of what kind of good food is versus bad food in terms of quality. So you can kind of figure that out yourself a little bit in terms of how you award yourself. I would score tougher on myself in order to ensure that, okay, what's a good quality meal? You can give yourself a 0.5 mark on these as well if need be. In terms of quantity, if you want to gain weight, I just put this little simple formula together here. If your goal weight is 200, then you should try to get approximately between 3,000 and 3,400 calories. So there's a couple different ways to look at it. In this case, what I've done is I've multiplied my goal weight by either 15 or by 17 in order to get these numbers. And that's basically where most research is in terms of how to gain weight. What that means in terms of proteins, carbs, and fats is I've kind of come up with a basic diet of 25% protein, 50% carbohydrates, and 25% fats. Again, this is just a very basic sort of diet. We can sort of get personalized more and more as we go along, but for the most part, this will sort of do it. So in this case, if our goal weight is to be 200 pounds, then we need to consume between 750 and 850 calories of protein, which equals this amount of grams. Again, one gram of protein gives us 4 calories, so if you multiply this by 4, you'll get that. When you look down at carbs, 50%, so again, that's going to make up the bulk of our diet. And then fats, the calories are going to be between 750 and 850 again, but 1 gram of fats gives us 9 calories, which is why the numbers of grams is very different from protein, even though they make up the same percentage of our diet. In order to lose weight, we roughly want to consume about 11 calories per pound that we are. So this is going to be sort of our goal here. So again, you can figure out this formula by yourself in terms of what your goal weight is going to be. Again, following that same basic formula, maybe if we want to lose weight, we can sort of reduce some carbs and play around with it. But again, I just wanted to have a very basic overview of what you wanted to do. So again, in order to make this happen, in order to figure out, again, if you're eating enough quantity, you got to figure out how many meals you're having, and once you sort of total that up, you can give yourself some points there. But I mean, if you just gorge yourself in terms of way too much food, then you don't get that point. If you really undereat, if you're trying to gain weight, then you don't give yourself a point either. These points don't have to be exact, they're just sort of rough guides to help you along the way. For water, roughly about 0.6 to 0.7 ounces per pound of body weight. I give you 2 points if you drank enough, 1 point if you're within 10% of your goal, and 0 for anything less. So over here I've got just a little chart of your weight. Again, if you can fill this one out specifically, but I've got weights all the way from 150 to 230, and this is how many ounces they would have based on either 0.6 ounces or 0.7. Again, you might want to err on the side of caution in terms of drinking more. For our rest, sleep is the most imperative thing. If we get 8 hours of sleep, that gives us 5 points. That's 1/4 of all the points we could get out of our 20. If you get 7 hours of sleep, I'll give you 4. 6 hours of sleep, 3. 5 hours equals 2 points. 4 hours equals 1. Anything less than 4 is a 0. Again, we really want to strive for some good quality sleep. This is where you can make up the most points, again, because sleep is going to be our most vital piece of our recovery. For napping, we can get 2 points if you take a nap that's either less than 30 minutes or about 90 minutes. You don't really want to kind of go in between that. If we go in between that, we sort of get to a point of these sleep stages where we don't get kind of good quality sleep. So if we go less than 30, we don't really fall into deep sleep. Or if we want to, we can kind of go through a whole sleep cycle of all 4 stages, but in order to do that, we need to do about 90 minutes. If you want to do this, don't do it too late in the day, because that'll really sort of mess up your sleep later on. Find a quiet and dark place. 2 points if you meet everything above. 1 point if you took a nap but didn't meet all the criteria, say it was loud or it wasn't light out, or it was a bright area, and 0 if you didn't nap at all. You can even get some points even if you didn't fall asleep per se, if you just take a couple 20 minutes to just kind of recharge your battery. And again, napping is vital, and it's a great thing to do, and it's usually not hard to make people want to take a nap during the day. No visual stimulation. This one's actually a really important one, because artificial light really inhibits the melatonin release, which is vital for sleep. We end up calling what we call sort of sleep inertia, where even though you're in bed, you're looking at your computer, you shut the computer down, you go to sleep, your brain is still stimulated. So when you go to sleep, even though your eyes are shut, you're not getting to kind of our good quality sleep, and what we call sort of our stage 4 sleep, where you get the really vivid dreams and good quality of sleep, and where the repair really comes into play. So you get 2 points if you didn't stimulate 30 minutes before bed. I mean, I've heard research saying maybe 60 minutes, even 2 hours before bed, you don't want to stimulate. 0 points if you didn't. No 1 pointers here, either you did or you didn't. 60 minutes to relax post-workout. Exercise is a form of stress, so we need to kind of de-stress ourselves ASAP. So if you can put your feet up on the couch for 60 minutes and just kind of relax, that's great. On non-workout days, 30 minutes of just kind of chilling out is great. So you get 2 points if you did, 1 point if you went anywhere less than 60 minutes, so around 30 minutes, and 0 points if you didn't.